Saudi Arabia. The mere word probably spurs thoughts of oppression and misery, but the depths of its oppression is beyond imagination. Saudi Arabia is a desert country encompassing most of the Arabian Peninsula, with the Red Sea and Persian Gulf coastlines. It is also considered the birthplace of Islam. It has been ruled by the Al Saud dynasty since its foundation. Its current leader is King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. He was elected in 2015. It is home to 28.83 million people and is an epicenter of oppression. It is governed based on the context of an absolute monarchy, where the king is both head of the state and head of the government. The Quran and Sunnah are declared to be the country's constitution. The structure of its government has been accused of corruption, including many accounts of bribery and treachery, and ever since the 9/11 attacks there has been pressure to reform the royal family. This corrupt form of government allows a lot of cases of oppression to take place, and a lot of them specifically target women. They live under gender segregation and a male-dominated guardianship system. Some women even describe it as an exhausting burden to bear. Men sometimes refuse to even speak to women, calling it sinful. Women are not allowed to drive and are usually forced to wear the traditional dress that may or may not allow the face to be shown, depending on the region. One woman, Bayan Perazzo, who moved back to Saudi Arabia, accounts for being taken out of her plane seat, being sexually harassed, screamed at for not covering herself in traditional wear, and being left out of work meetings where men decided her career without her say. Not just women, but Saudi Arabia is also accountable for many human rights violations, including prison sentences for all those involved in activism. Some examples include a Jeddah convert sentenced to 10 years in prison and 1,000 lashes for insulting Islam and creating a liberal website. Others include a member of the Saudi Civil and Political Rights Association being sentenced to 7 years in prison and a human rights lawyer being fined $53,000 for his peaceful activism. It is also home to cruel forms of torture, sex trafficking, and no religious freedom. In criminal justice, authorities do not always inform suspects of the crime they're being charged with, and typically do not allow lawyers to assist the suspects during interrogation. According to media reports, Saudi Arabia executed at least 68 persons between January and mid-November 2014. Mostly for murder, drug offenses, and armed robbery, including 31 between August 4th and September 4th. 31 of those executed were convicted for non-violent crimes, including one man sentenced for sorcery. Saudi Arabia has an oppressive and almost inescapable government with strict guidelines on how to live and swift and cruel punishment if seen trying to resist. Solutions for oppression are fleeting, but the one thing that can never solve oppression is silence. So this really comes down to what Saudi Arabia can do for itself.